Hey everybody, welcome to Titans of CNC Academy. My name is Billy Boyce, and right now I'm going to take you through modeling the TITAN-10M. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. First thing we want to do is make sure we are in the design workspace. And then we're going to go ahead and create a sketch. So we'll go create sketch. I'm going to choose this top plane here. Let's go up to create and 2-point rectangle. We'll click one time right here and kind of drag over to the right and down. Here we can type in 1.9, press tab and 8. Enter. Go ahead and double click the center mouse button. That'll kind of bring it up into view. Now we'll press L for line. I'm just going to click here and there. I'm going to do that 3 more times. I'm not going to worry about dimensions yet. Once we have that, we can go ahead and press D for dimension. Go from there to here, 1 inch. From there to here, 7 inches. From here to here, 1.525, enter. From here to here, 0.375, enter. And now we can go ahead and get the rest in line with some constraints. So we'll go constraints, horizontal vertical, we'll say this point to this point to that one, this one to that one, and this one to that one. Now we can go ahead and add our fillets. So let's go to modify, break. Let's click this line, this one, and that one. Now we can go modify fillet. From this one to that one, we want it to be a 1 inch. So just type in 1. Do not press enter. And go ahead and make the rest of the selections here, 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 and here. Go ahead and press enter. We can right click, repeat fillet. We'll go here and here, type in 0.01, do not press enter, and then we can go grab the other corners. Now we can go ahead and press enter. Let's go ahead and right click, press pull. We'll select that whole section there. We'll say minus 0.876, enter. And that finishes off sheet 1 of 3. Let's go ahead and move on to sheet 2 of 3. Here we're just going to place the 0.275 diameter circles on the bottom. We'll extrude it up. So let's go ahead and go to create sketch. I'm going to select the bottom of our solid there. Press C for circle. Click and drag that over. We're going to go ahead and put a dimension of 0.275. Enter. I'm going to press C for circle, click, kind of drag that over and just drop it, click, drag it over and drop it. I'm going to press escape. I'm going to hold down the left mouse button and drag a little window over those 3 parts. Come up to constraints and say equal. Let's go ahead and press D for dimension. From there to here. That's a dimension of 2.152, enter. From here to here, 4 inches. From here to here, 5.848, enter. We'll do one from here to here, 0.95, enter. Then we can come up here to constraints, say horizontal vertical, that one and this one, and this one. Now we can go ahead and right click, press pull. We'll just go ahead and choose the very bottom. Should get a selection that looks like that. And we'll say minus 0.2. Enter. And there we go. That finishes off sheet 2 of 3. Let's go ahead and move on to 3 of 3. First thing we want to do is create a sketch. So we'll go create sketch. We'll choose that top surface. One thing I want to do is come over here to our sketches, hit that little arrow, get the drop down, And let's go ahead and turn on that last sketch we did. I'm gonna press C for circle. Go ahead and snap right here and do a 3/8 diameter, 0.375, enter, C for circle. Again, I'm just gonna drop 2 more down, press escape, left click and hold, drag this through those 3 circles and choose equal constraints. Now what we can do is come up to constraints, concentric, this one with that one, this one with that one, and this one with that one. Go ahead and press escape to get out of that command. Come over to create, rectangle, center rectangle. I'm gonna snap right in the middle, kind of drag up and over to the left, and I'm gonna drop that down. We'll press D for dimension, click there and here. We have a dimension of 1.1, enter. Go from here to here. We have a dimension of 0.15, enter, and that's looking good. So let's come up to create, rectangle, another center rectangle. Again, click right in the middle, drag it over to the left, and let's run into that other rectangle until we see that little X there. Now we'll just type in 0.1 and enter. We can right click, press pull. What we're going to do is knock out these 2 sections here. And once you have it highlighted like that, we can go ahead and kind of rotate it and just touch the bottom. And it'll cut all of that out. So we can go ahead and say OK. Now we look like that. I'm going to go ahead and turn off that last sketch. Let's go ahead and create another one first. We'll say create sketch. We're going to choose the top surface again. And now I want to turn on that very last one we did. There we go. So we'll go create, polygon. Choose that top one there. Select right in the middle, drag it up till we see the tangent symbol. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and click again. Click in the middle, find the tangent symbol, click again. Click, tangent circle, click. I'm going to press escape to get out of that command. I'm going to hold down Command on Mac, Control on PC, and then I'm going to select those edges. Go ahead and press delete. Let's go ahead and turn these other sketches off so we can see it a little easier. Select that one, this one, this one, this one, that one, and this one. Press delete, get rid of them. Okay, we'll say finish sketch, create under solid, and we'll do web. Again, I'm going to hold down Command and select all of the lines. You can see it extends past our part, so what we want to do is toggle this to next, toggle it again to depth. Now it'll allow us to put the depth in, 0.676, thickness is 80, and that should be good. So we can go ahead and say OK. And that looks great. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this back over. So I'm looking at the top. We're going to go ahead and create another sketch. So create sketch, choose the top surface. Let's go ahead and turn on that last sketch that we just did. Press L for line, and we'll go point to point. You'll have to hit escape and L for line, and we're just going to do 3 little crosses like that. L for line, escape, L for line, escape, L for line, escape, L for line. Escape. We'll say finish sketch. Let's go ahead and choose to turn this one off. We'll say create, web, and then we'll go ahead and select these lines here. Again, it'll be going past the bottom surface. We'll need to toggle this depth again so we can have an input field. Again, 0.676 and enter. Okay, looks good. Now what we want to do is go ahead and click the home button there, and let's say front, so we're looking at it like this. Now we'll want to come up to modify and say fillet. What we're going to do is come over here to select. We're going to have to toggle this selection priority so we see it's on edge, so we'll go ahead and click it. And I got to click it again so that it is selecting edges. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and hold with the left mouse button. Kind of drag a window like that through the side of the part, and then I'm going to let go, and you can see it selected all of my edges. Now I'm simply just going to type in 0.127. And see what that did is it went ahead and it selected all the edges, and it's giving me all the fillets all at once. So I can just go ahead and say OK. And that's great. So let's go ahead and move on. Let's do the drop down cuts here on each end. So again, we're going to go create sketch. We'll choose that top surface. I'm going to press L for line. And I'm going to come over here and just snap on the edge. You can see that little triangle. That means it's the center of our part. I'm going to click and drag straight up. Just do a short little line. We're going to use this to mirror the sketch we're going to do. So I'm just going to click L for line. I'm going to kind of quickly just create a rectangle, something like that. Now I'm going to come up to constraints. I'm going to say parallel, this to this, this to that, and this guy to that. Now I'm going to press D for dimension. Go from here to here. That's 0.1. Enter. From here to here, 0.140. Enter. Go from here to here. While that is highlighted green, I'm just going to select this other one and then press enter. Press L for line, go from here to the center. We'll go to create, rectangle, center rectangle, snap right here on the edge in the center of that line. Bring the pointer over to this line and it'll snap to it. And then we can just type in 0.1 and enter. Come up to modify, break. Let's break right there and right here. Now we can come up to modify fillet. Gonna click here and here. Now we can type in 0.15. Do not press enter. Let's get this one and that one, this one and that one, this one and that one. And now we can press enter. And that looks good. So let's come up here to create, mirror. I'm going to select this line, the fillets, there we go. So I'm going to select that stuff there, come over here, select the mirror line, choose that one right there. We'll see a preview, that looks good. We'll say okay. And now we can come up to solid and extrude. Select here, 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 and here. We'll say minus 0.5 and enter. Okay. Let's go ahead and create another sketch. We'll say create sketch. I'm going to choose the bottom of the pocket we just created there. Going to come over to create point. I'm going to drop down 4 points like that. Let's go ahead and press D for dimension, and we're going to add some dimensions to a few of these. So from there to there, we have a dimension of 0.745. Go from here to here. We have a dimension of 7.255. Enter. Go from here to here. A dimension of 0.558. Enter. And from here to here. 1.342. Enter. Now let's use some constraints to straighten the rest of this out. So we'll go constraints, horizontal, vertical, that one and this one to this one, that one to that one, and this one to that one. Now we can go ahead and say finish sketch. Let's go ahead and turn on that fourth sketch so that we see the center point here and these points here. We'll go ahead and go create, hole, select this one, that one, this one, and this one. We'll go ahead and come over to hole type. We're going to say a hole. We're going to thread that hole. We'll say halfway or adjustable. It won't be a full thread. We'll use the drill point. That's fine. We'll leave it at 0.9 deep. We'll leave that at 0. Let's go ahead and say ½ inch on the threads. That's fine. 118 for the drill tip angle is great. Under size, we need to change this, so we want to make sure we're in ANSI unified screw thread, and this is going to be a 1032. So we need to come through here and find number 10. Under designation, we need to drop down to 1032. We'll go ahead and leave the rest alone. It's making it through the part, so that's good. So let's just go ahead and say OK. Okay, we're going to do that again, so we can right click, repeat hole, or just choose hole. I'm going to select there, 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 and there. We're going to change this to a counter bore, and we're just going to do a through hole. The depth at 90 is fine. The counter bore diameter, 0.380, is good. The depth at 80, 0.08, is good. Through hole 160. No, let's change that. That needs to be 0.260. And then we can go ahead and say OK. So now we got our threaded holes and our counter bores. So let's go ahead and turn off that last sketch there. And that looks good. OK. Let's go ahead and create another sketch. So we'll go create, sketch. I'm going to choose the side of our part. I'm going to go create line, and I'm just going to click here like this and just kind of do something like that. I'm going to press escape, come over to constraints, say coincident. I want this point to nail that point right there. I want this point to hit the side of this line. Now press D for dimension. I'm going to go from this point to that one. That is a dimension of 0.2. Enter. That looks good. Okay. I'm going to press L for line. I'm just going to kind of go like this, something like that. L for line, something like that. Got this little extra one here. I'm going to go ahead and select it and delete it. Again, I'm going to come up to constraints, say coincident, this point to that edge, this point to this line. I'm going to press D for dimension. I'm going to go from here to there. We'll set that dimension at 0.425. From here to this point, 1.181. Enter. I'm going to go ahead and press escape to get out of the dimension command. Come back up to constraints, coincident, that point to that line, this point to the edge. We'll press D for dimension. We'll go from this point to that point. That's a dimension of 6.819. Enter. Go from here to here. That's a dimension of 0.4. Enter. I'm going to press escape and L for line. Let's go ahead and kind of box this in a little bit. So we'll do that straight up. Bring that over like this. I don't really care if it's all crooked, and then select that guy there. If we want to straighten that up, go ahead and press Escape. Go over to Constraints, Horizontal, Vertical, that selection, and this one. I'm going to press Escape. Let's right click and say Press Pull. I'm going to choose there, 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 and there. Kind of rotate that over like that. And then I'm just going to touch this back side here, and that pulls it all the way over. Now we can say OK. It's going to be cutting. We'll say OK. And there we go. That's looking good. Now we need to add the fillets up here on these top edges. So we'll add these fillets. We'll go Modify, Fillet, here, here, and here. That one, and that one. That is a dimension of 0.6, and enter. Okay. So we have a couple more fillets we need to add, so we'll go Modify, Fillet again. We got to do these 6 corners, or these 8 corners rather. So 4 on this side, 4 on this side. Those are going to be the 10 thou, 0.01, enter. Go to top view. Now we need to add some chamfers. So I'm going to press Escape. We'll go Modify, Chamfer. Again, with the left mouse button, I'm going to click and hold. And I'm going to window that whole area like that. Kind of look at it. I can see I got the tops. On Mac, I'm going to hold down Command. On PC, hold Control. And what that's going to let us do is make some more selections. So I'm going to select there, 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 and there. I'm going to release the button. Now I can rotate it. I'm going to press the button again. And now I'll go ahead and make these bottom selections. And you can see that we've selected this portion right here. We don't want a chamfer there, so let's go ahead and select those again to turn it off. Now we can come over here and just type in 0.01 and say OK. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Yeah, that looks great. And there you go. That is the Titan 10M.